being labeled. I'm an American. I'm not an African American. I'm an American.
Raven-Symoné declares, I am not African American. I'm just American. Los Angeles, CA, July 20, 2025. Actress and television personality Raven-Symoné has once again ignited a fervent debate about racial identity, firmly asserting in a recent interview with Jason Lee that she does not identify as African American, but simply as Black and American. This statement, echoing similar controversial remarks she made a decade ago, has reopened complex discussions within the Black community and beyond about heritage, belonging, and self-definition in the United States. During the interview, Raven-Symoné was direct in her response when asked if she considers herself African American. I am not African American. I am Black, she stated definitively. She elaborated on her reasoning, asserting, there comes a point when your people helped build a place. You're simply American. This isn't the first time Raven-Symoné has expressed such a viewpoint. Back in 2014, her declaration to Oprah Winfrey, I'm not African American, I'm American, caused a significant stir and drew immediate backlash, particularly from those who felt it dismissed the historical and cultural struggles unique to Black Americans. A decade later, Raven-Symoné stands by her previous comments, adding a new layer to her argument by posing a poignant question. How long does a bloodline have to live in a place for them to be considered from that place? This query, while seemingly straightforward, carries immense weight when considered within the context of centuries of forced migration, slavery, and systemic oppression faced by the descendants of enslaved Africans in America. At its core, Raven-Symoné's position distinguishes between racial identity, Black and ethnic/cultural labels, African American. For some, Black serves as a broader, more inclusive term for individuals of African descent worldwide, encompassing those from the Caribbean, Canada, Europe, or Latin America, not just the U.S. However, for many, the term African American is deeply significant. It serves as a crucial acknowledgement of the unique history that brought Black people to the United States, the brutal transatlantic slave trade, the fight for civil rights, and the enduring legacy of generations who tirelessly fought to claim their space and rights in a nation that often denied them full acceptance. To these individuals, abandoning African American risks erasing a vital part of their historical narrative and collective identity. For them, African American is not just a label, it's a legacy. Raven-Symoné's comments have tapped into a larger cultural question. Who holds the authority to define identity? Is it an entirely personal choice, or is there a collective dimension? Can one simply claim American when systemic racism and the perception of Blackness as other persist within the country? Raven-Symoné appears to argue that her family's long history and contributions to the U.S., culturally, economically, and politically, have earned her the right to identify solely as American. From her perspective, after generations, she no longer feels a direct connection or obligation to a continent from which her ancestors were forcibly taken. For her, being Black and American is a complete enough identity. Yet, this perspective strikes a nerve for many, who believe it overlooks the harsh realities that Black Americans continue to face. Systemic racism, voter suppression, and economic disparities are all inextricably linked to the legacy of slavery and segregation. To them, Raven-Symoné's desire to drop the African prefix seems to bypass an uncomfortable but essential truth about the ongoing impact of historical injustices. While Raven-Symoné has every right to define her own identity, as personal identity is complex, and no two Black experiences are identical, her status as a public figure means her words carry significant weight. Her statements do more than just reflect personal beliefs, they inevitably ignite broader conversations about history, belonging, and the ever-evolving meaning of being Black in contemporary America. The question of whether Raven-Symoné is wrong is not a simple one. Her viewpoint is valid for her individual experience. However, for many others, her comments may oversimplify a deeply painful and complex legacy that continues to shape the lives of millions. Perhaps the more profound question emerging from this discussion is not merely, are you African American, or just American, but rather, can we ever truly be just American in a country that often still perceives Blackness as a hyphenated identity?